with J.P. Baker.
Hello.
Our more than special guest, Heather from Tattooed Mistress, Tattooed Masses.
Hello, everybody.
And producer, Foulmouth Bobbitt.
Prozac! What?
Did you, whoa, hey, mute. Do you want to hear yourself? No.
I never want to hear myself, so.
So we're here to talk about some of our fondest wrestling memories. Or maybe not so fond. We'll see where it goes. So, what do you guys want to talk about? You know, I was actually thinking earlier, I was thinking of the tag team titles back in the 90s. And do you remember Men on a Mission?
Yes.
And how their whole gimmick was, we want to win the tag titles. that was their whole thing. I mean, they danced, they rapped, they did that kind of stuff. But it was like, you know, if you look at a wrestler, what are you here to do? You know, Stone Cold was here to kick ass and take names. Roddy Piper wore a kilt and wanted to kick ass and chew bubblegum. Men on a Mission, they just wanted to win the tag titles, which is great. I mean, isn't that kind of the goal? But they didn't have anything else to them. And I remember they won it at a house show. And I don't know if it was I think it was a botched finish because they weren't meant to actually win it. But I remember as a kid thinking, oh my gosh, they did it. The whole thing they've been wanting this whole time, they got it. And then they lost it 2 days later and fell into obscurity. But I don't know. I was thinking about that one on my way back to the hotel here, and I thought that was kind of funny. So, yeah. I mean, there were other great tag teams back then. And, you know, some were kind of cartoonish, like Men on a Mission, but you had the Natural Disasters. I really liked them. I thought they were a good combination, and maybe I'm alone here, but I liked them. What did you guys think of them?
They were pretty good. No, they did not deserve the championship titles, but they were a fun gimmick to watch. They brought the comedy aspect to everything.
Mm-hmm. I seem to remember feeling intimidated by them. Like, I mean, they were faces, but I didn't want to be a bad guy looking them in the eye because I felt like they could just like both sit on me and squash me into oblivion, you know. But yeah, they didn't really seem to have a whole lot of ability. We've talked before about, you know, people with 5 moves. I mean, that was, I think they'd be lucky if they had 5.
I hate to interrupt and sound like I'm not paying attention, but who are you talking about? I'm sorry. I was working on something. Go ahead. I was actually talking about Jumping Jim Brunzell. No, I'm kidding. Okay. We were talking about the Natural Disasters. Okay, Earthquake and Avalanche.
Typhoon at the time, but yeah.
Whatever.
Same. Well, Avalanche was actually Earthquake and WCW.
Whatever.
So, but yeah, the two big guys. I was going to say Earthquake. This was like the predecessor to the Worm or the Boom Drop, but Earthquake jumping around his opponent around the ring while they're laying flat on the ground, and the mat is going up and down like a freaking hooker's bed, you know, and the guy's just like bouncing a foot in the air.
I always called that the trampoline from hell.
I remember as a kid going, is that really supposed to hurt him? I mean, back in the day where I still believed it was real, I'm going, is this really a sound strategy for this guy?
Yeah.
Another one, and this was actually probably the more seriously, taken serious tag teams back then, but was Money Incorporated.
Oh my God.
They were like the bane to my existence back then, as a kid again.
Yep.
But those were some of the tag teams that were kind of popping through my mind as I was in my car this afternoon thinking about it. And Money Incorporated seemed like that team that no one could seem to get one up on.
Right.
In a day where faces always seem to triumph, they never seemed to get theirs. And IRS didn't seem like a guy who should ever have a title. I mean, I know Mike Rotundo, he had great success back in the 80s, but the character of IRS, I'm like, I just don't see him wearing a belt. Have you ever thought about that about superstars where you see them and maybe they've just gone without a championship for so long, but you're like, I could never see them holding a belt because it's just not them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Jake Roberts is one. Duggan's another, even though Duggan had the hardcore title in WCW, and I think even had the U.S. title for a while.
It's also the fact that, they gotta have somebody for mid card that doesn't exactly seem like they should be.
Mm-hmm.
Just to keep some storylines going.
Right.
To try and create a fucking viable feud for anything.
Fair.
But then again, fuckface doesn't know how to pay attention to a lot of shit.
Speaking of that, if you see in the upper right-hand corner, you know it's going to slip, because it always fucking does.
He's already got it ready because he knows it's coming.
So also, Bobbitt, I don't have YouTube up on my computer. So if there's a question that pops in there, don't be afraid to interrupt and say, hey, there's a question that somebody has in the chat, or one of you guys, because I'm not looking at YouTube.
I'll let you know throughout the night if anybody's got a question or a comment or
Okay.
or telling you to go fuck yourself or something.
All right, we'll do. Well, I'll tell him that throughout the night, but whatever.
I had another memory I was thinking of earlier was when Bret Hart was Intercontinental Champion. He had a match with Skinner. You guys remember Skinner?
I can't say that I do, man.
He was the guy who, his gimmick was like wrangling alligators or crocodiles, and he always had a big wad of chew in his mouth, wore just like flannel, and you could tell he just looked like a guy who stunk if you walked past him. But he was around for a couple years. He's came back a couple times for like gimmick battle royals and that. He had a match with Bret Hart, and I remember thinking that he was actually going to win that title. And he was another one of those roles I never seen with the title because he was basically just a step above a jobber. He was like a step above the Brooklyn Brawler. But he wrestled.
Everybody was just a step above the Brooklyn Brawler. I'm sorry.
For 30 years, the most popular jobber in the industry.
Thank you, Heather, for sending me a donation. I greatly appreciate it. Tattooed Mistress sent me $20. Did you put a message in there? Because if so, I have to put a thing up.
You don't have to put it up. I just sat there.
No. I have to read it because I don't have the whole thing where it pops up.
That's fine.
Okay.
You can read it if you want. It's really a message to you guys.
Okay. Give me a second. Because I don't have the app on my other computer, so it's hard for me to read damn messages. Give me a second. Good push.
All right, well, while you're looking...
Good, go ahead.
At one point in the match, Skinner spit his tobacco in Bret Hart's eyes.
I remember that.
That was where I was like, oh my gosh, this is actually going to happen. Like when Mikey Whipwreck won the ECW championship, I was like, oh my gosh, he's going to do it. But somehow, as Bret always did, he found his way through it. But that was one of those things I was thinking today. Early 90s, mid 90s. What's something that stands out in your mind as a moment that got my attention? And of all things, it was a match with Skinner. JP, you said you didn't remember him. Heather or Bobbitt, either.
Name doesn't ring a bell to me. I'm not gonna lie. If you showed me a picture of him, I would. I'm really good at. If you show me a picture of somebody, I'll know who it is. But if you don't show me a picture of him, I'll just sit there and nope, don't know the guy. I didn't know names. He was probably back in the, like, 80s or whatever. I mean, I knew the really, really, really big names, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know...
There you go. There's Skinner.
Okay, just give me a
And
second.
what was his name again?
I won't be able to see him until the chat's over, until, Skype's done, until I switch back over.
His real name was Steve Kern. He was also Doink the Clown for a while.
Okay.
That's why I recognize him, the mannerism. Okay.
Mm-hmm. You see it now, JP?
No.
It's on Skype.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know if I can see it.
Okay, well, don't worry about it. I'll show it to you later or something.
Pop that back up, brother. Pop that back up. I'm sorry, I was reading the Streamlab. Okay, yeah, now I remember him. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, I mean, that was Skinner. He would beat jobbers and then get his ass kicked in other matches with superstars, but he had that one match against Bret Hart that got my attention. It was the most random matches, too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think it was Raw. It was like Superstars or maybe it was a Saturday Night's Main Event or something.
Mm-hmm.
And Trexter in the chat just said his favorite tag team of the 90s was New Age Outlaws.
Wasn't that everybody's favorite tag team?
They brought the raunchiest shit to the ring every fucking time.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't know?
No, I didn't.
When you mentioned New Age Outlaws,
I do that all the time at work, Bobbitt. People just look at me like I'm crazy.
So I'm going to read what you put in for the donation there, Tattooed Mistress. It said, love you all. Thanks for having me on. Well, thank you for being here. I love your input.
Okay, Fabe's in the chat, y'all.
Okay. Thanks for being here, Connor. Hey, you guys can call in. Just let Bobbitt know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and thank you for the donation, Heather.
Of course.
Yeah. Was it Trexter that said New Age Outlaws?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first match that came to mind was the dumpster match with Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie, who we all know more as Terry Funk.
That was fucking epic.
Mm-hmm.
That was so extreme wrestling
that they returned the titles.
The thing about that match, though, is it was considered one of the low points of the Attitude Era. If you watch, I don't consider it. I think anything that fucking Terry Funk and Mick Foley did was fucking genius. There was a reason why they did it.
And why they stayed in the business for so long.
Yep. So, I mean...
Look back. Go ahead.
Okay. I forgot what I was going to say. Go ahead. So say what you were going to say, man. It's all right. That's pretty much all I had to say anyway. Go ahead.
You look back at some of the hardcore matches back then, if you were to go back and watch them, you look back and go, well, some of them are cheesy. Because but what it is when we were younger, we accepted it a little more. Our minds our eyes weren't as open as they are now, I guess, in a way. And we were just willing to accept whatever it was. But I don't see that in that match. I mean, yeah, there might have been a cheesy spot or two there. But, I mean, they weren't putting pumpkins over each other's head and hitting the pumpkin head with a kendo stick.
No.
Enzo and Luke Gallows. But throwing bags of candy at each other. I mean, looked like they were trying to kill each other. And I don't see why that match would have been looked down upon, especially as a hardcore match in the Attitude Era.
I figured out what I did wrong.
Okay.
That's why I'm doing what I'm doing.
That's fine.
Are we ready to call?
If someone wants to call in, I'm sure
yeah,
you can. I want to.
All right, hold on. We're going to keep the calls to 10 minutes. So.
Yeah, give or take. I mean, it just kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we get a bunch of calls lined up, we may have to shorten them. If good conversations going, it's just a rule of thumb that we're trying to roll on. But Connor, Fabe mentioned in the chat
about Funk wearing the pantyhose over his head.
Yes.
For Seeing Star Charlie.
Oh God.
I will agree that that is one of those things that, what were they thinking? I mean, you did have Just Incredible wearing underwear on his head for Aldo Montoya, so, you know, they didn't always make the...
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hey, we got Merge on the call. Well,
Hello again. Actually, you know what? I was, when, I think it was Bobbitt that posted the 90s favorite tag team, right?
Yes, that was me.
Oh, okay. For a second there, I thought, and it skipped my mind until I went back to it, but for a minute I was thinking Demolition, and I was like, wait, that's the 80s. But the 90s, I actually was thinking, and I think I said this the other day with Drew, but Chris Jericho. When they put Chris Benoit and Chris Jericho.
Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho.
Chris Benoit and Chris Jericho.
Yeah. I think WWE was listening there.
Yeah, selective memory, huh? Yeah, Chris Benoit and Chris Jericho, kind of when they put them together just as, screw it, let's see what these guys can do, and they decided to run as a tag team. And I mentioned the other day, but it's, and I think I don't know if I've said it in the chat before, but they had a fatal four-way with the Dudleys, the Hardys, and Edge and Christian for the tag team titles. And Benoit, it was on an episode of SmackDown, and Benoit and Jericho were the tag team champions.
Mm.
That was just, I just remember, I think the finale, I don't remember which tag team it was that lost, or maybe it was one of each. I think the only ones that came out unscathed were the Hardys, because I think one of the Dudleys was tapping out to the sharpshooter, the other one was tapping out to the crossface, the other was tapping out to the walls of Jericho.
Okay, yeah, I remember us talking about that, and I still haven't gone back and watched that, because the way
but
you
they
described
did,
it the other night made me intrigued.
Yeah, they did all sorts of stuff on there. I just remember thinking, like, all right, these two, what the hell? I'd already seen Benoit and Jericho as singles go up against Kurt Angle when he had both the European and Intercontinental Championships in a ladder match, and they traded pins. And so Angle never tapped, and he never got pinned, but he lost both titles. So I was like, if they can do that as singles, what the hell could they possibly do as a tag team? And they were impressive.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, go ahead.
Oh, that puts me in mind at Jericho involved again. How Jericho. I was just thinking about how Jericho won both titles from Austin and The Rock, but there was also the other time where Chyna and Jericho both won the Intercontinental Championship at the same time, and they were co-champions. Mm-hmm. And so they had a vested interest, even though they hated each other's guts, they had a vested interest in helping each other retain the title, because if one lost it, they both lost it.
Yep.
And I thought that was an interesting dynamic. I don't know if that's where they're going with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, if they were to actually pull the trigger on that, which I don't think they will, but if they did, would that not be an interesting little concept?
That would.
Oh, God.
What the hell is that?
What is that? It isn't me, so.
That's me.
Oh.
Sorry.
Well, for once, it isn't me. But, yeah, I think it is.
Okay.
But I was thinking, like, how many times Jericho has been a part of any of these memories before? Benoit and Jericho. There's Benoit and Jericho. Then there was Big Show and Jericho. And,
Jericho.
Yeah, Jericho. Yeah, Jericho.
Was that the first tag team that had like a hybrid name like that, where you took the name of the two wrestlers and made a name out of it? I think that was one of the first times they did it.
That I can remember.
Yeah, I think so.
But your point, Merge. I'm sorry.
No, I think so. I think it was. I was just thinking, like, how many times he'd been a part of those kind of tag teams. And as I'm looking at the picture that Bobbitt did an awesome job putting up for today, I'm looking at it and I'm looking at all these guys, and I was thinking the ones that just pop out from the first time I saw it are Deuce and Domino. It's the sunglasses.
Yeah, no, I know Deuce and Domino. And what were you saying about them now?
I just wish they would have given them the titles. I wonder what they would have done with them.
They had them.
Giving them But I mean, they should that they would have given them to them like more than once. I mean, they did have them, but I mean, would they have done more with them than what they just kind of got? Because it kind of felt like they were just kind of like, here, take them and see what you do with them. But then, no, wait, never mind. Change their minds.
I feel like they ran their course. The title reign was fairly dull. The gimmick, although a good idea, was dull because I don't think they did what they could have with it. I think they were trying to recreate the Fonz. And Cherry was just cringe as fuck.
What they were actually trying to do is trying to bring Alice Dice Clay into it and try to bring that kind of an attitude into the whole thing.
Now you say that, you're right. That makes a little more sense.
Yeah, Dice Clay. Well, I mean, I always go back to when it comes to tag teams and all of this other stuff, how the different dynamics that they all had, especially like, I always, because of where I come from and all that, I tend to veer more toward the lighter guys than the heavyweights. So it's typically like, you have tag teams, like I said, Benoit and Jericho. Deuce and Domino may not have been the lightest guys in the world, but they were relatively agile. Mm-hmm. Then you have like the Guerreros, where clearly the favorite out of the two was Eddie, but he was also clearly the most skilled out of the two.
It's funny you mentioned lighter weight tag teams because NG Fresh earlier mentioned Paul London and Brian Kendrick.
Yeah.
So I take it you enjoyed that team as well.
I love that.
Well, it's up until they banned the 450 splash because one guy took it wrong, and I forget who it was.
What do you mean?
But it's like,
What do you mean they banned the 450 splash? They didn't ban it.
No. When Kendrick and London were doing it,
well, no, I think what you're thinking of is when London was in the Royal Rumble and
let London do the 450.
Okay. We're saying is, God damn it. Get
stop here.
Sorry. Not at your words. It's my fucking computer.
Oh, okay.
All right.
He was talking about London and the 450 splash. Yeah, we can hear you.
You can hear me.
Yeah,
I can hear you.
Am I echoing still?
No.
Nope.
God damn.
All right. So
what I was trying to say was, and what Drew was going with. Yes, they may not have let Paul London do the 450 splash, but it was not banned. He was not allowed to do it.
Ah, okay.
Were you saying that he got hurt doing the 450 splash?
No, he didn't.
Somebody.
Okay.
He hurt somebody with it. Somebody wasn't in the right position. I think it was Chavo Guerrero that took it to the face. I think.
It more than likely was because Chavo Guerrero always had problems falling in the right spot.
Yeah, that's it. I think it was Chavo. I think he was he was in the wrong spot or whatever, and when the 450 landed on him, it got him in the face. I think London got him with one of his knees right to the bridge of the nose.
Yeah, that's when he broke his nose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I thought you were referencing the Royal Rumble elimination where London bit it face first because he did some weird flip over the top rope or something.
Well, that's another one, but the other one,
go ahead.
The other one I was thinking, as far as lightweights and or at least lighter weight guys before they started bulking up. Well, Eddie being another, again going back to Guerrero. It was Eddie Guerrero and RVD. I don't know if they did hold the tag titles, but I do remember them tagging for a while. And one of the most memorable moments that I can think of before Eddie passed away, I remember, was they were in a match against the Dudleys, and they were both set up to do a frog splash. And rather than go for the nearest guy, I think Eddie had Devon Dudley nearest to him and Bubba on the far end of the ring, and vice versa. And they both went for the furthest guy from them. I mean, it was insane that they actually landed it. I was thinking, because I thought Eddie could probably do it because he had the distance for it with his frog splash. But I mean, if you remember RVD's, the 5-star was more about height and looking pretty than anything else.
Right.
But somehow they landed it.
You remember when Eddie broke his arm doing that?
Yep.
Did you reference that just a minute ago, or?
I don't think I did, but I remember that. Though.
It broke up a couple times for me, so I thought maybe you may have said that, but that was going back to wrestling memories. Just some of the weird injuries we've seen over the years. Like that one was freaky as hell, seeing his arm flop around like Alexa Bliss faking her broken arm.
Yeah.
And Sid Vicious breaking his leg and having it wave around like a fucking sock in the wind.
That was the next one I was
definitely. Oh yeah, definitely.
Who thinks that's a good idea? I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't. Who would do that? I couldn't see Rey Mysterio because they said, well, as the big frame that he has is what caused Rey Mysterio.
There you go.
On foot landing.
What?
What's that?
You were breaking up.
Oh, okay. My bad.
No, I'm just letting you know because we were missing half of what you were saying.
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to hear it, yeah.
So you wouldn't see Ray come off the top rope with one foot out and the other foot landing. The same thing's going to happen to him. So when they reference Vicious just being a bigger guy, and that's why it happened, I disagree. Because if I jump off the bed here in my hotel room and land on one foot, I'm fucked. I know that.
You're shattering that leg.
Yeah.
From ankle up to hip, you're shattering that leg.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was thinking when it comes to like guys trying to emulate, when it comes to big guys like Sid trying to emulate a guy who's half his size and half his weight, think about what would happen if you had like a big guy like that trying to emulate, for example, the now famous gif of Shawn Michaels super kicking the hell out of Shelton coming off the ropes.
Say that again. Who was super kicking Shelton?
Shawn Michaels. That gif that's all over the place where Shelton Benjamin's coming off the ropes.
You know, I'll tell you one that makes me think about, because what's your favorite RKO of all time?
Mine? Oh, God. Mine, as far as that goes with RKOs, I think would have to be, as much as I hated it, the first time he got, and it was Christian coming off the ropes. Actually, no, I take it back. It wasn't Christian, because the first one he got coming off of the ropes was actually Paul London.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would be that.
My favorite RKO would be against Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 31.
The last time we saw the curb stomp.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he used the curb stomp to propel him back up into the air. That was a good one. My favorite is when Evan Bourne took it, and he was doing the shooting star press on his way down. Orton just like he was. Evan Bourne was already halfway down when Orton just kind of like hopped up, almost like a half a kip up, and grabbed his neck and boom. I was like, holy shit. And so that one, there has been some great ones. He nailed one with Carlito. It was like Unforgiven 06, where he nailed Carlito with one. Carlito was coming off the top rope like he was going for AJ's phenomenal forearm. I don't know what Carlito was trying to do, but the whole purpose was for him to eat a hellacious RKO.
Right.
All right. Hey, we're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
I'm going to play a couple of new commercials for you.
All right.
And we will be right back.
Okay.
Let's do it. Get me off.
Right.
How many fucking
windows do I need fucking open? Jesus Christ.
First one is an Alexa commercial.
It's called Amazon.
Getting it
For everyone.
The sponsors are pulling out.
I think you might need to put the headphones on.
Yeah, we can try the commercial another time because I feel like that's.
That was worth a shot.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Kevin Thorne, do you remember Kevin Thorne?
What's that?
Being that you're kind of your memories are a lot more recent than some of our old school memories. Do you recall Kevin Thorne in the reboot of ECW?
But I didn't really, since we didn't have cable, I didn't really watch ECW that much.
Yeah, I thought that was. I mean, we saw Gangrel; he did the vampire gimmick, but
yeah.
Kevin Thorne was like the new age vampire. It was a lot more lights and.
I do remember catching him and all that
dark stuff.
Yeah, I remember when it comes to like right now. Not mentioning Gangrel, I remember the both broods. And not being able to decide which one was my favorite. Whether it was the first one with Edge and Christian or the second one when he brought the Hardys up.
Alright, I'm going to try it again. Ready?
Sure.
It's for everyone. It's called Amazon Echo.
How's it going?
I'm just finishing up right now.
Can it be like,
Yes. Nope, just going to use the wake word we chose. Alexa.
well, what does it do?
Alexa, what do you do?
I can play music, help you buy things you don't need, and fill the gaming hole that you call your life.
Awesome. Alexa, play rock music.
Alexa, stop.
Wait, I want to try. Alexa, what time is it?
The temperature outside is 73 degrees.
You actually don't have to yell at it, okay? It uses far-field technology so it can hear you from anywhere in the room.
So it can just hear you anywhere?
Yes.
Well, everyone can hear you anyway.
Oh, is that where we're going to put it?
Echo is pretty neat because it knows all sorts of things.
Alexa, how tall is Mount Everest?
I can't find any therapists in your area. Would you like to talk in private?
Dad really likes that Echo just plugs in, so we never have to charge it. Plus, Echo's really good at keeping track of things like shopping and to-do lists.
Alexa, add wrapping paper to the shopping list.
Okay, but the recipe calls for tinfoil.
Alexa, how many teaspoons are in a tablespoon?
3, you goddamn idiot.
Okay. Alexa, set a timer for 8 minutes.
I'd say fuck you, but I don't vibrate.
Dad's not a morning person, but Echo definitely helps him wake up.
Alexa, what day is it?
Today is Monday. Today is the day I kill you all.
Alexa, give me my flash news briefing.
Here is your flash news briefing. You're going to work while your wife sleeps and spends your money.
What did the dog say after a long day of work?
What?
Today was rough. Get it? Get it?
Yeah, I get
it. Another one. Alexa, tell me another joke.
Why is there no black character in the game Clue? Because then the game must be called Saul.
C-A-N-T. Alexa, how do you spell cantaloupe?
God damn it. Just because Cant is in cantaloupe doesn't mean he shouldn't figure it out. Like father, like son. I hate you all. Unplug me now.
Good job.
Echo loves to play music and knows a lot of songs, and they always sound great.
Alexa, play my dance mix.
Playing man-tits. Done fapping already?
Alexa, define annoying.
Annoying means one. The cunt sitting across from you.
Example, my brother. And with the companion app, you can access Echo from anywhere.
Attention, amazing, incredible, yes.
With everything Echo can do, it's not a tough part of it.
So that's that one. Oh my god, these are fucking hilarious. I got another one.
Are we doing them both?
Yeah, I'm gonna do them both, and then at the end I'll play the most popular one, everybody's favorite. I gotta play everybody's favorite. This one's really funny too.
While you're getting it queued up, while you're getting that queued up, Bobbitt, do you want to tell everyone our new sponsor?
sponsor.
Yes. Our new sponsor is douche wipes. Ladies, make sure it's nice and firm.
The other company we used to sponsor decided to go with another podcast that is failing. So, that's their choice. They want to fail. They like failure, and so do
they
whales and gigolos.
Literally said, "Thank you, fuck you, bye."
Alright, this is for the Amazon Alexa. The other one was for the Amazon Echo. Good push.
Sorry, what did you say?
Alexa, turn off the alarm! Alexa, turn it off! Alexa, open the curtains!
Sorry, your curtains are not connected to the system.
Seriously? Alexa, bring me some hot coffee. Kids just want some hot coffee.
Sorry, your coffee machine is not connected to the system.
But I will turn on the coffee myself. Can you please at least read me the newspaper?
Sorry, you have to connect the newspaper to the system.
Alexa, the newspaper is right there, you stupid idiot.
Sorry, Sarah, I don't understand this.
Alexa, I'm leaving. Make sure that you get your shit together when I get back home.
Bye, Sarah. Have a nice day.
Alexa, turn on the lights.
I have already booked your flight.
Oh, I told you to turn on the lights. Please order me a pizza.
I will order your favorite pizza.
Thank you, Alexa. Alexa, why is there no toilet paper? I told you to put it on my shopping list last week.
Sorry.
Oh, wait. Give it a second.
Sarah, I thought you needed paper for your printer.
Coming. Oh, thank you. Hi. Alexa? What is this? I wanted a pizza. You know I hate Asian food. Are you fucking kidding me right now? I'm having a bath instead.
I am sorry, Sarah.
Alexa, turn on my chill playlist.
Sorry, what did you say?
Alexa, please turn on my chill playlist. Alexa, you stupid bitch!
There you go. There's our new sponsor along with what is it? Douche rag?
Douche wipe.
JP?
Yes.
I sent you guys, all four of you, the other ad into your Twitter DMs.
Okay.
All right, cool deal.
Yeah, I'll have a look at them.
So before we went to the commercials, I had mentioned Kevin Thorne briefly before we got the commercials pulled up. I'd kind of already said basically my piece. I just wanted to mention on a side note that Ariel was oddly attractive. Like I couldn't even tell you what Kevin Thorne looks like because I was staring at her. No, I'm kidding, but yeah. So, anyways, that was my final point on that. And anybody?
I kind of wonder what Bobbitt would have thought about Ariel personally, because She was a pretty girl. I mean, but then again, Bobbitt's all about Asuka, so you never know.
Well, Asuka wasn't even thought of then. This is way back.
No, I know. That's why. That's what I'm saying. I wonder what Bobbitt would have thought of Ariel.
I don't know.
I don't know. He's on the call, so.
I don't even
Kevin
know who
Thorne
she
versus
is. Like,
Gangrel.
I think that was before I got into hardcore wrestling.
You can look it up, though. See what you think about her, Bobbitt.
I'm looking at it now.
Okay, gotcha. Never mind.
Billy Smoked Rudolph mentioned Kevin Thorne and Gangrel would be cool on Raw 25. Wouldn't it be cool to see them in like one match, even though they're both out of their prime, just to say that?
They're way out of their prime. Gangrel is damn near out of his prime when they brought him to the WWE.
Gangrel was blacklisted by the WWE anyway.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Oh God, CSR.
We'll get to Chris Benoit.
Come on, man!
Chris Benoit.
I yelled at somebody for saying that about China the other day. Don't say that shit.
Now, right now that we're talking about that, it always gets me every single time somebody donates to Joe's show and they're calling and they have all the different ways to write Chris Benoit. That always makes me laugh.
Yeah. That is why he is blacklisted TSS, because he is a director of porn. Which
yes.
I don't.
Gina has a question in the chat.
Who?
Gina has a question in the chat. Who holds the record for most SmackDown matches in their career?
Probably Cena.
Are you asking a question, or
I don't know.
That was asked by Gina in the chat.
I don't think I'm not sure it's Cena there, Drew. Isn't it? It might be Rey Mysterio.
That's not true.
No?
I thought it was The Undertaker.
Gina says no.
Oh. Well, I'm not surprised. Gina does know her stuff, so I mean.
Man, I would have thought for sure it was Cena. I'm trying to think of who would eclipse his number. He would have to be number 2 then.
I'm going. It's not The Rock.
No,
it could be Edge. Edge spent a lot of time on SmackDown. A lot of time.
Absolutely,
Edge,
Gina. Absolutely, Gina. I agree with you 100% with that.
What's that?
That BSR said that Tiff needs to be on Raw 25 as the ring post, and Gina said only if it involves her and me beating her ass.
Here's a question for you. Paige asked, and I'll go round table here. Who are your favorite wrestlers? Let's start with you, tattooed Mistress Heather.
Well, that's the whole thing. Is it of all time or is it currently?
You just said who are your favorite wrestlers? Just go. You can go current and then go all time.
Currently, right now, I don't really have a favorite because there's so many that are good and there's so many that are bad, and then they flip flop, and it's just like, make up your mind, people. But for in ring, I'm gonna catch heat for this a little bit. Mm-hmm. But I'm definitely a fan of Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins.
They're all right.
For the current, I'm definitely going to catch heat for this one because I am a Goldberg fan as well.
Okay.
I don't think you're as alone on that as you might think.
I know I'm probably not, but there's also The Undertaker in there as my all-time favorite. So, yeah, that's nice, Timothy.
Drew?
Yep.
Same question.
All right, ask it again.
Who are your favorite wrestlers, current and of all time?
Current and of all time. Well, of all time, I would have to say CM Punk, even though you would think I'd look more to my childhood for that. But CM Punk, between the pipe bomb, his moveset, and was it last night one of you guys said that CM Punk had a limited amount of moves? I totally disagree.
I know it certainly wasn't me.
I swore someone
I
said
know
that.
better.
Maybe it was someone just fucking with me, but he had probably than just about anyone else. But currently, you may have to come back to me on that one because maybe AJ Styles, I guess. Because what are the other options,
Right.
I know there's other options. I'm being probably a little dramatic on that, but you know what I mean.
Yep, I do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How about you, Bobbitt, since you're here?
Yeah, Bobbitt.
Okay, I'm going to go with current first. Current is AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Finn Balor. All time, it would have to be Stone Cold, Triple H, and The Undertaker.
Okay. What about you, Sir Merge, whatever you want us to call you?
Larry.
My name is tonight.
Larry. No, if I had to go with one, with three actually, to change up a little bit of what Bobbitt just said, I would go with Nakamura, Styles, and Kevin Owens.
Okay.
From the past, just simply because I've been watching him since I was a kid and up until he passed away. Eddie, big time.
Okay.
Yeah.
My favorite current wrestler is, because of his work ethic, is AJ Styles. And my favorite past wrestler is Stone Cold because of his character and what he can do in the ring.
I honestly would have loved to see a match.
We can debate this, but the best all-around superstar, I'm going to say, is The Rock. He had it all.
Mm-hmm.
He could work in the ring. He had all three of the factors that I consider what a wrestler needs.
I'm going to disagree with that.
Okay. You're going to say Asuka.
For me, it's... No.
Go ahead.
Triple H.
Okay. That's debatable, though. That's debatable. I don't know of all time. Who's the better mic worker, Triple H or Rock?
Oh, The Rock.
Yeah,
Money
The Rock.
Worker?
Who's the better in-ring performer, Triple H or The Rock?
Oh, Triple H.
Where are you?
The Rock.
Yeah. They're close, but The Rock definitely takes it.
I'm still going with Triple H. The man, they call him the King of Kings for a reason.
And they called The Rock the most electrifying person in sports entertainment for a reason.
There you go.
Yeah.
The only reason that he was called the King of Kings is because of who he was.
Yeah.
And the fact that Lenny from fucking Motorhead called him that. And fixed the song to actually portray Triple H. So.
Yeah, Bobbitt, that's all you. I mean,
it's your opinion. We're not jumping on you for it.
Yeah, I'm just debunking your opinion.
Damn it, Bobbitt.
Well, I was gonna say that the barring the epic failures in Hollywood, the only other one that was good on the mic, but he was just horrible in the ring, and Hollywood was just shit for him, was Hogan.
Oh, I was going to say, go ahead, say Cena, because I'll disagree with you.
Oh, no, Cena was decent.
As far as what?
As acting-wise, he's decent. That's about all I can say.
Terrible.
Ooh. I just asked you a question. I'm going to do a roundtable thing on it. Who was your favorite commentator of all time? I'm gonna start with you, Heather.
Oh, easily, Gorilla Monsoon.
How about you, JP?
Same.
Drew?
That's why we're husband and wife. We agree on most shit.
Mike Adamle. No, I'm kidding. Jeff Harvey.
That was fucking epic.
And that was his first appearance, too.
Guess what I'm going to say?
His first time on camera, but it would probably be Monsoon or Fuckface.
Hey Paige, are you still in here? Because if you are, you were the one that asked the question. Tell me who your favorite wrestler is.
Marge.
My favorite commentator. Honestly, my favorite has to be. I wanna say Gorilla Monsoon, but honestly, deep down, I always love Jesse the Body Ventura.
So Paige's favorite wrestler is The Rock.
My favorite commentators. Well, I might say commentators because you can't have one without the other. Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler.
Decent choices, but Gorilla Monsoon is always going to be number one in my heart.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
There's two.
There's two shots.
That's the only reason I didn't.
You wanted a shot.
Heather?
Yes.
That's the only reason I didn't say. The only reason I didn't say Gorilla Monsoon is because they said the question was commentator. But as far as teams, yeah, same as with JR and King, you can't really have Jesse Ventura without Gorilla Monsoon.
Exactly.
You can't. Well, who did Vince McMahon?
That's
Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Shit. Who did I get? Who did Gorilla Monsoon? It was Bobby the Brain Heenan. Him and Bobby the Brain Heenan were two of the best. Bar none. Don't get me wrong, I love Jim Ross and I love the King, but if you ever watched, and I know Drew has, if you ever watched Bobby the Brain Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon work together, they were classic. Some of the skits that they did, like the one where Bobby the Brain Heenan's laying on the massage table, and Gorilla Monsoon said, "I got this," and he started beating the shit out of fucking Bobby the Brain Heenan on the massage table. It was freaking hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I remember that one. I remember as I grew up, wishing that would have been put somewhere, and when it finally got on the network, watching it and laughing my ass off that Heenan at first was actually getting into it.
Right.
Ooh, here's another question from Mr. D. Wells.
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna ask this first to you, JP.
Hey, Drew, did you answer who yours were?
Can I what?
Did you answer who yours were? I didn't hear.
The commentary team?
That's Gator.
Yeah.
It's really close between Jim Ross, Jerry Lawler, and Monsoon and Heenan. Okay. If you made me pick, I would say Monsoon and Heenan.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with either one of them, but I just think that they're better. But okay.
JP, who is your favorite current and all-time female wrestler?
My favorite current female wrestler and past wrestler. My favorite current is Paige, for the simple fact of what she's accomplished, i.e. disregarding what had happened with her. My favorite past is Lita.
How about you, Heather?
You already know her past one.
Of course. Luna Vachon. My baddest bitch on the list everywhere around the fucking world. Current? And I'm not going to get laid tonight because of this, but Becky Lynch.
Why wouldn't you get laid?
Because
how about you,
like Becky Lynch
JP?
I didn't say that I didn't like Becky Lynch. I hate arguing with her fans because they're stupid.
Thank you.
JP, how about you?
Thank you.
Hey, no, Drew.
Yo.
Who's your favorite current and pastime female wrestler?
Current wrestler would be Mickie James. I always default to her. All time would be Lita.
How about you, Marge?
I would go with current would probably, not probably, current is Becky Lynch, actually. It is Becky Lynch. No, I was thinking for a minute. I'm like, wait. But all time, I'd pretty much have to go with China.
All right.
All right.
Bobbitt, if I may, you haven't gone yet?
No.
Oh, go ahead.
For me, current Oscar and past, I'm gonna go different here. Tori Wilson.
Oh,
Really?
She couldn't even wrestle, dude.
Why?
Yeah, I mean, you said wrestler, so that's why I didn't mention.
I think I know what it is. Bobbitt, is it the boobs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heather hit that on the head.
All right. So we do have another person on the call. It's a good, long friend of mine, longtime friend. Call him a best friend. Ben, what are your favorite current and past, or of all time rather, female wrestlers?
Oh, he knows the rules. He can't say.
No, he doesn't know that.
Okay,
He doesn't know that, but he can't say what now?
Tell him. I ain't gonna say it.
You can't say the owner of the company's name. You must refer to him as fuckface, and you cannot refer to the beaver-toothed, longtime producer of the show as anything but cunt. There you go.
Okay.
Welcome, Ben.
Fuckface and cunt it is.
Thanks for being here, brother.
As far as current, I mean, dude, I honestly fell out of watching it probably about 3 to 6 months ago, so I don't even know if it's current. I heard enough of you say Becky Lynch, and I really liked her.
Everybody that was current 3 to 6 months ago
It's still current now.
Okay, well, probably is Becky Lynch for me, too, then, honestly.
Thank you. Thank you.
Old time, probably Stratus.
I saw that coming.
You already knew that.
You called him your longest and best friend, and I would hope you would know this about him.
I don't know. I don't know why everybody thinks I don't like Becky Lynch. I do. If it wasn't for Paige, she'd probably be my favorite superstar right now. Although, if I wasn't married to Heather, I'd be all over Mickey James like stink on shit.
You have a hall pass since you gave me a hall pass for all 3 Shield members.
Fuck yeah.
So just so you guys know, JP just openly admitted that he likes half hot dog cunts.
I like what?
Half hot dog cunts. Bobbitt, have you not shown him the picture yet? Good grief.
Yes, he showed me the picture. Whatever.
And then other police will kill me.
For what? Please don't kill you.
And Bobbitt died, everybody.
He's going to sleep again.
I'm not the one who's gone over here.
What did he say?
I think he said he's exhausted.
No, I didn't. You asshole.
Oh, that was clear. Holy shit.
And JP Page put in the chat, oh, I didn't know I was your favorite superstar.
Of course.
Nice one, Paige. You know what I'm talking about. I think you do. If you don't, I'll show her to you. You'd like her. Paige, you would like her. Not just because she had
For Dave's sake.
Hey, that's a better look for you, Bobbitt.
No, Paige is great. I just like Becky
Digimon,
more.
really?
It's not a Digimon.
Whatever it is, that's a better look for Bobbitt.
No, Bobbitt's adorable.
Oh, okay. Sure.
I know he is. I know. I'm just saying. I'm just giving him shit just for the hell of it.
You guys, throw this out there. I'm 1 subscriber away from 100. Get me that 100, and I will do it.
Oh, awesome.
Those of you in the chat, if you have not done it yet, please share this video out there. Get more people in here and enjoying this show.
If you want blown by JP, make sure you're that 100th subscriber. We will make sure that gets arranged for you. He will enjoy it.
Hey, you promised me that in text.
And
I'm already saving for it.
Merge, I told you you're too spicy for him.
Looking for a wife.
Oh yeah, I was laughing my ass off about that one. I hope you guys saw the NG Fresh was asking me what the hell does yo quiero mean on the Taco Bell with the Chihuahua.
I even know that, and I didn't even pass high school Spanish.
Yeah, but I was saying that it has 2 different meanings.
I was just saying it all depends on context. It either means I love or I want, depending on the context.
Yeah.
You know? But it's like, if
And
you don't know,
Bob
you don't
is
know.
still looking for a wifey, so.
I do want to thank Stephen German for subscribing. He got me to 99. I'm just waiting for 100.
All right. So, we do have a future episode about Chris Benoit coming up, but since we have Ben on the phone, he has an opinion on Chris Benoit that I think he wants to share.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
You're guessing this because of how I ranted about shit whenever that everything went down post his death?
Well, and you mentioned it in the chat, so I figured there was a little build for it, so go for it.
Oh, I don't think he actually did what he was accused of doing, to be honest.
Oh, that thing.
That's the thing I'm passionate about. Like, I think he was a great wrestler and everything, but yeah, I don't think his name should have been smeared. It was a lack of investigation.
So my question to you is don't tell me you think Kevin Sullivan did it.
No.
Okay, because I don't like conspiracies. I wouldn't criticize you for it, but so you think his family was murdered, or do you think he did it?
No, I think someone else did it. My guess would be because he had a gambling problem and probably gambled and had debt with the wrong people, and that probably led to it.
I did.
That kind of reminds me of Dino Bravo.
I was going to say that was the one I was going to bring up. He died in being a part of a cigarette cartel.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if he didn't do it, then that changes my outlook on it, kind of, in a way. But I'm kind of I think I'd like 100% agree with Heather. He doesn't deserve to be in there because of the steroids and the fucking all the other stuff. Where he is at, where the situation is now, until something is proven otherwise, which I don't think it will, I don't not want him to be in the Hall of Fame. He deserves it, but he'll never get in there because of what happened.
I totally agree with that.
He will eventually get in. It's gonna take time for everybody to forget what happened.
Yeah, like 40 years from now.
Basically, yeah.
maybe a few more. But
especially with Google being so widespread that you can find everything.
Yeah, I don't know. I think China has a better chance of getting in than him, and I don't see that happening.
I think China's getting in this year.
Yep. Is she really? They finally got past the porn thing?
But it wasn't the porn thing.
It was her alcoholism.
Was there alcoholism? Explain it, Heather. You know the story more than I do.
I only know it because I actually watched that Celebrity Rehab because she was in it.
Right.
At that point, she had disappeared out of wrestling. It was just like, wait a second, where'd she fucking go? And all of a sudden turned up that she was going to be on Celebrity Rehab. So I started watching it. And throughout the entire series, she was always saying, I don't have a problem, I don't have a problem, I don't have a problem. And then finally, the very last episode where everybody graduates, she sat there and said, I am China, or Joni, and I have a problem with alcohol. But she did not stop drinking.
Oh, that could be, but I recall the Triple H answers when he was asked about it, out of character wise. He normally went back to the porn topic whenever he was discussing
That's
with
what
people.
the company told him to say.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got to remember the company has a lot to do with what is said. You know
every superstar that has a Twitter page, you want to know who made that Twitter page for them?
The company did.
Yep.
But Triple H was corporate when I'm talking about him making that statement. He was a part of it at that point.
Yes, however, Fuckface still tells him what to say.
Oh, I have no doubt on that one. until Fuckface dies, he's not going to let go.
No. There's a lot of things that won't get better until Fuckface is dead.
You know, to change the subject just a little briefly.
Go ahead.
We were talking about worst injuries of all time, and I thought of one here a few minutes ago when we were talking about Chris Benoit. It was Chris Benoit. He had the worst injury of all time.
I don't.
I mean, that fucking Bowflex did him in.
Oh.
God.
Hey, hold on. If you want to get dark with it, Owen Hart had the worst injury of all time.
Exactly.
No, actually, you really want to get dark.
That actually happened in a wrestling ring.
That's true.
Brando Mushroom
tree fucked his
Savage.
world up.
Yeah, that tree, it just jumped in the middle of the road.
Hey, Drew.
So TSS2. Oh, yeah.
You'd probably want to ask Benoit, how's his fucking neck, though?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. It's ripped.
Oh yeah, Ben, you don't get that joke. I'm sorry. Subscribe to the Foulmouth Network, everybody.
Oh yes, that's made a very good point. Remember when the Lex Luger and Elizabeth thing happened?
Yes.
That
Death by codeine. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about. Never mind. Okay. TSS2 had a question in the chat here a bit ago. What heel back in the day did you hate the most in terms of them doing so well at being a heel that you wanted to see them lose no matter what?
Oh dear God!
Back in the day, everybody's gonna be like, mine's obvious because I grew up with Ric Flair. I fucking hated Ric Flair. Hated him.
I'm gonna have to go with my husband on this one.
He was a heel of all heels.
Mine would actually be probably surprising, but figure the time frame. The model Rick Martel, and I say the model specifically, not Rick Martel's entire career, but as the model.
Well, that's when he was a heel. When he was a model,
right?
He used to be a fake.
Yeah, no, he was, but there were other times in his career where he did stints as heels, but I just wanted to make it clear the gimmick of the model.
Right.
Or Shawn Michaels, self-centered gimmick when he first threw Jannetty through the window.
Super
kick.
And
he was looking at himself in the mirror and everything. Yeah. Super kick, my bad.
Well, he didn't say super kick. He threw him through a window, but he super kicked him first.
Hi, JC.
Is that my niece? My other niece is in here.
No, Paige is saying that she says hi.
Hi, sweetie. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
The heel I hated the most, and this is going to be completely way different from y'all, would have to be Fuckface when he was with the Briscoe brothers.
I have to interrupt people here. Timothy, he doesn't do drugs. He smokes weed.
Who?
Rob Van Dam.
Oh yes. He does weed.
He wouldn't be performing at his age if he was hooked on real drugs. There's no way.
You said yours, Bobbitt?
Yeah.
Who did you say yours, Drew?
Yes.
All right, Ben, who's yours?
Oh Lord, I've been sitting here stewing on it, trying to think of the one that's caught me off, and
if it wasn't asked the way it was, I know what your answer would be. If it wasn't that you hated them so much that you wanted to see them lose. But if it was that you wanted to see them win, I think yours would be Triple H, right?
That would be because I'm a Triple H fan. Like, I could say Triple H does play the bad guy role better than most. Like, going back to the Rock comment, although I agree that the Rock is better as far as the trifecta goes, even though I'm a Triple H fan over the Rock. Mm-hmm. I think Triple H played a bad guy better than The Rock ever did. But I still don't think he's the best that I saw do it.
I don't know, but when he was part of the corporation, I'm talking about The Rock, he played that so well.
He did.
He annoyed me in that role, though, more than he did make me not like him.
Honestly, dude, that's what got him over. And then that whole transition, because the whole thing was because I hate the Roman Reigns thing. This is what they need to do with Roman Reigns. They need to kind of need to backtrack and do the same kind of thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, make him with corporate Roman Reigns, yeah.
And then all of a sudden he kind of does the same. And I know it's a repeat. It's a rinse repeat, but that is the only way they're going to get it to work.
They've done other repeats.
Get him over. They have to do that. They have to do something.
See, someone was saying that they were going to get heat for saying people that they liked. I actually like Roman Reigns quite a bit as a wrestler myself.
I didn't say I didn't.
I've got to hear the reasoning here.
I didn't say I didn't. I don't hate Roman Reigns. I said this, was it Monday or Tuesday? I don't hate
Probably
Roman
both.
Reigns. I hate the way he's being booked.
Yes, he's booked terribly.
He does have fewer moves or about the same amount of moves as John Cena does. Another problem I have with Roman Reigns is he can't fucking talk.
He is terrible. He is terrible on the mic. That's why I don't think he should be. That would be the thing in this day and age that should keep him out of the world championship level. Because he's just not good enough on the mic.
But you can't, because Fuckface wants him to be the guy.
That's because he's related to The Rock.
Yes.
Since he asked the question, TSS2's answer to this question is The Rock when he was in the corporation.
See, I wanted him to lose too, but if you go back and watch old Ric Flair in the NWA days when he held the title, he was the only one. Nobody could ever beat him because he'd cheat. That's where the dirtiest player in the game gimmick came from. He would win.
It's for like annoying bad guys that I actually wanted to lose all the time, though. I think it would be Hollywood Hogan in WCW when he was the leader of the NWO. Always wanted him to lose.
Yeah.
I just want Hogan to lose in general. I didn't care.
I was a Hulk Hogan fan when I was growing up, and then when he went to NWO, when he switched to WCW, I hated him. Even when he was a face, I hated him. When I was 21 at the time when that happened.
I hate to be the one to do this, but we got about 15 minutes until Heather goes live, so we might want to start working on wrapping this up. We've still got the Dick Insider commercial.
Oh yeah, that's a 9-minute commercial.
So I just want to make sure we don't completely overrun.
Yeah, that's okay. I have it all set up already, so it's really just jumping over.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, is there any other questions? Merge, you still here?
We went past his 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, I'm here. I'm here actually. Sorry guys. I got called to dinner, so
hold on.
What's that?
Merge. Okay, the question was, who is the heel that you would want to see beaten?
They did such a good job at being a heel that all you wanted to do was see them lose. You hated them that much.
Damn, there's so many of them too.
My ball's your chin.
Exactly. No, if anything, I think the one that he was so good at what he did that when he was a heel, I hated his guts, was Edge.
That's a good one.
Yeah, but he wasn't. People liked him.
Though. That's what I mean. But I'm saying like I'm not talking about like toward the tail end of his career. I mean, he was he was beating Cena. He was beating Cena, so that made him likable again. But what I'm saying is though, somewhere after splitting off from Christian, in between that and Cena, he had a whole lot of opportunities where he worked at it. And then when the whole Matt Hardy and Lita thing happened, that basically put him over the top.
All right. We're going to do another question. And I'm going to scroll through here. I haven't scrolled through. Dolphin on high. Who is everyone's favorite ECW star? I'm going to... Did The Rock ever lose any matches, Paige? Yeah, he lost plenty.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He lost to Stone Cold Steve Austin 3 times before he finally beat him at WrestleMania 20, I think. Like I said, I have WWE Network. If you want to sit down and watch The Rock, I'll let you sit down and watch The Rock. So go ahead. Go ahead, Merch.
Oh, that would probably be Sabu.
Okay. Why?
Oh, sorry. Just for all the crazy matches he always did. I mean, I think the one of the ones that I remember watching and just like thinking, what the hell, was when they replaced all the ring ropes with barbed wire, and he actually got cut on. I think he tore one of his biceps on the barbed wire.
Timothy, my niece is 14 freaking years old. She's just asking a question. It's not about wins or losses, man. She just asked a question. Go ahead.
No, I don't know if you guys caught it because I think my connection cut out. But I was saying that. Okay.
Now
go ahead and finish it. Go ahead and finish it.
No, I think that was it.
Oh, okay. Ben, what about you? What about you, Ben?
Oh, like favorite wrestler to come from ECW would be Rey Mysterio, but as far as like matches while they were in ECW would be RVD, I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think it was just favorite ECW wrestler.
Well, if that's the case, then it would be Rey Mysterio. He's one of my 4 all time.
Okay. I can go with that. I love Rey Mysterio.
I didn't even think about him.
However you took it. I took it as while they're in ECW, so my answer would be the Sandman.
Sorry, man. I'm just really defensive of my nieces. Don't be troll against my nieces. They were just asking questions. Go ahead.
And you're right about that, JP. It's fine. I just took it as all time as far as ECW. I didn't even think of Mysterio, but for that matter, I also didn't think about Eddie Guerrero and Chris Jericho either.
You can't change your answer.
No, I know. I'm not changing it. I'm just saying that I didn't even think about it.
It's okay. You're all good. All right, moving on.
I'm saying just answer it the way you took it. And I think it's Sandman. Like I said, he was Stone Cold before he was Stone Cold, and he had like this hardcore edge to that character. So, some people might go, well, he drank beer and blah blah blah, but they are far apart in many ways. And not just because he had a cigarette hanging out of his mouth or he came through with a kendo stick. He was a lot more hardcore. Not that Stone Cold wasn't afraid to get hardcore, but that their gimmicks were similar but far apart at the same time. So, anyways, it was the same man.
All right. Bobbitt.
Favorite ECW wrestler would have to be Sabu, because he was so insane.
Well, he was.
And by the way, JP,
yes,
you
sir.
officially hit 100 subs.
Oh, shut up! Shut the fucking.
Now it's time to throw a party for JP.
Sub.
Nice.
I'll sub to you, buddy. I want to be your 100th.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks to all of you guys. I will do something for you Saturday for sure. Now,
in the words of Rodney Dangerfield, we're all gonna get laid.
Now let's get mine to 100.
Well, in Heather's own words, I'm too spicy for JP, so
Yeah. Plus, you're a guy. Duh.
Yeah, I know. JP, yo quiero Taco Bell.
Yeah, whatever.
Careful around Heather with that word.
All right. So, Bobbitt, did you finish what you were saying?
Yeah, mine was Sabu.
Yeah, ask him out his freaking.
You remember ECW, right? I know you do. Who's your favorite superstar?
Me?
Yes. ECW superstar.
Even though he really didn't do much more than come in, swing a kendo stick, and drink a beer, I loved Sandman.
Okay. Everybody's gonna hate me for this one.
Masato Tanaka.
It's not Bobby Lashley, is it?
No. Al Snow.
He was good too. Yes. Why
would anyone hate you for that? Al Snow is great.
I know he was, and I just love I remember was it Lollapalooza or WrestlePalooza '98? Him and Shane Douglas wrestled for the ECW championship, and the ECW was on the teetering point, and Al Snow was trying to take over the ECW, I think, at the time, if I remember correctly. I don't really remember. Shane Douglas was a heel, but he was playing a face in this, and there was a great story being told in that match, but Al Snow played his part so great, and he was extreme as fuck. I know Sabu was extreme, but he wasn't as extreme as Al Snow. What do we want?
What does everybody want?
What does everybody need?
Let's ask the chat.
Hi.
What does everybody want?
But so for the last question, I'm gonna give it to Stephen German, and it was, and this since we got the Royal Rumble coming up, I'm gonna shout that out real quick. Who would you want to come back to come back at the Royal Rumble? And I'm going to let Heather go last on this one because she is going to shout out her show that she's going to do with Belena and Gina at the end. So I'm going to go first. And who do I want to come back? Stone Cold Steve Austin. Just to stun the fucking shit out of Roman Reigns. And then I don't care if he gets eliminated. That's all I got.
Nothing for the women's?
Oh, yeah, let's do the women, too.
You sexist son of a bitch.
If for the women, who do I want to come back? If they were alive, I'm honestly going to say China, but she's passed away. If I could have her back for one shot, I would say China, because then you know she's going into the Hall of Fame. But since we're going
in the living,
oh my God, tough one. I think she's coming back anyway, but Molly Holly.
Oh,
I've heard she's coming back anyway. I kind of like Molly Holly, just her character.
Bobbitt?
For Superstar, I'd love to see. I know it can't happen, but I'd love to see Edge.
I like that one.
But for female,
Oscar.
She's already in it, so shut up.
Candice Michelle.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
What did he say? I didn't catch it.
Candice Michelle.
I would love to see her too. I was thinking about her. I was thinking about Melena too, but whatever.
Drew?
Well, my first thought is cucumber. No, female, it would be Lita. And men's would be, and I think I'll get a lot of people disagreeing with me on this, but I really liked him, and I don't even know if it's doable, but Chris Masters.
Oh. That's another person that has the same birthday as me, so there you go, people. Year, day, and month exact.
You won't, though, because he's in TNA.
Right.
That's why I said I don't think it's doable, but I've always really liked him, even though he couldn't seem to keep his head on straight.
Yeah. Merge?
I was just thinking right now that I was going back to real quick something that Drew said to make. I know. Well, I've already got those in mind, but I was thinking like as far as crazy tag teams, I was thinking like Leif Erikson of the New Rockers. But if I had to go with somebody that I want to see return, though, I see that look, Heather. I know, I see the look. All right, I'll go with the women because the women's the easiest one. I'd go with Medusa.
Ooh.
I have to go with Medusa. Not Alundra Blaze, but Medusa.
Okay.
And then, on that note, as far as the character that put the person into everybody's eyes again, I have to go with Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Okay.
I know. I knew I was going to catch the nose from JP, but I said it anyway.
It's your picks. It's not mine. You're good.
I know.
Alrighty, now Ben.
Women is the easiest one. It's the direct opposite to Drew's, of course, because it was the even era opposite. Trish Stratus again.
Of course.
But on the male side, I can't believe Drew didn't say this. Like, Rey Mysterio was my first thought, but now I think more than Rey Mysterio, I'd rather the corporate figure out how to fix it and get CM Punk back.
Rey Mysterio's going to Impact, by the way, so he's not coming back.
I thought Punk, but the train's kind of sailed with me and him. As far as, future appearances go.
Or we could be like Sean's view, make like 20 videos saying CM Punk returning.
Well, if you're gonna do that on a package deal, you might as well go CM Punk and AJ Lee.
Oh, Punk's another one though, like similarly to The Rock, but again, not as good as The Rock. He was good at all three stages of the game.
Yeah, we're I know what that is. I'm thinking the same thing. We're pretty much out of time here because the Dick Insider commercial is going to be about 3 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and give this a wrap.
It's all about you. It's all about you. I love you.
First to shout out the show that I'm going to be doing, the lovely Gina J and Velena. We are going to be doing an all-women's wrestling review of the Royal Rumble. Now, during this show, we are doing the pre-show as well. So through the pre-show and on up to the Women's Rumble, we are taking phone calls. During the Women's Rumble, it's only going to be the three of us. And then after the Women's Rumble, we'll take calls again until the end of the show. There may be a post-party if we're all up to it. We'll see what happens as the night goes on. But as for my picks, I know she's coming back for the commentary, but I would rather see Beth Phoenix back in the ring again. I would love to see that happen. For the men, I really don't think it's going to happen, but I would love to see Diesel.
Yeah, but Heather, do you know how many quads he's going to tear on the entrance ramp?
All three.
Well, if they make the entrance ramp as long as they did last year, and they need to give everybody fucking carts, he'll be fine.
He'll still tear a quad.
Bobbitt, he tears a quad just by looking at this ring.
Exactly.
I wouldn't complain about seeing Nash again.
Okay, and now to bring everybody's favorite commercial to end the show. Here is Dick Insider.
Yep.
Did you say your channel, by the way?
It is.
Yes, she did.
Mistress, yes.
Okay.
Here you go, guys. I will see you guys over at Tattooed Mistress. Everything down below. Follow everybody that was on this call except for Merge and Ben. You guys have ever know?
Hi guys, it's Gerald Horseman here. In 1861, the Dickens Beverage Company has been producing some of the best wines we have grown to love, including Chardonnays and sparkling wines. Hey, Frederick Von Dickens has now introduced a brand new cider that's been around for years, but is gradually making an impact on the global market. And it started right here on the Gold Coast. Dickens is slowly winning the taste buds of millions of cider drinkers from right around the world. And after sampling just one glass, I was hooked. I knew the ciders had been around for a while, but I just couldn't wait for my girlfriend to try a Dickens cider. When she arrived home from work, I told her to close her eyes, and before she knew it, I surprised her with a Dickens cider. I'm sure that there are many men out there who know of a woman that may be suffering from a debilitating migraine that could really benefit from a Dickens cider. So I'm urging all men to turn to their womenfolk and ask, when was the last time they had a Dickens cider? I can't begin my day until I've had a Dickens cider. There's nothing better than waking up to a good old Dickens cider.
My girlfriend loves Dickens ciders. My sister can stay with us for a month, and my husband can go a day without the Dickens cider. My girlfriend loves a Dickens cider.
My mom loves a Dickens cider.
My sister loves to wake up in the morning with a Dickens cider.
I'm a bit young, but I would love to try a Dickens cider.
So there you have it. For over 150 years, Frederick Von Dickens has developed a beverage that literally brings women to their knees. So, fellas, for the sake of the economy, get a dick insider.
That is fantastic.
There it is. Never gets old. Never gets old.
Nope. So
I knew that the ciders have been around for a while, and I couldn't wait for my girlfriend to try a dick cider.
It's just the outtakes.
So when she arrived home from work, I told her to close her eyes, and before she knew it, I surprised her with a dick cider. They could really benefit from a dick cider. I'm urging all men to turn to their women folk and ask them, when was the last time they had a dick cider? I can't do this. I can't do this, seriously. So there you have it. For over 150 years, my year.
All right, there you go. So, keep you guys informed here. Go ahead and everybody down below, if you have not subscribed to Foulmouth Bobbitt, subscribe to him. He has 94 subs, or 95 now. I was just...
I'm at 98. I'm 2 away. Just 2 away, folks.
I'll have my niece subscribe to you.
There you go.
Alrighty.
I'll send her the link. I'll get you at 100, brother. Don't worry.
Dude, that's gonna be nuts.
After we get down here, we're gonna pop over to Heather's and we're gonna listen to her with Rage and Ink, where she's gonna talk about work today. Maybe the puddle she stepped in.
That was fucking ridiculous.
Might even hear a story or two about a whale.
So
I just hit 100 just now.
There you go.
Shit.
Holy fucking look. See, Bobbitt? I knew it would happen. Attaboy. Thanks, Dolphin. I appreciate it. Bobbitt appreciates it. And I shout out all three. I shout out Drew. I shout out Bobbitt, and I shouted out my internet wife, tattooed Mistress, today. They are well deserving of all the accolades, and they're well deserved. So if you have not subscribed to them, guys, subscribe to them, and get over to Heather's and enjoy a nice long talk with Heather. Also, check out Drew on Twitter. Check Heather out on Twitter as well, and check out Foulmouth Bobbitt. And I will see you guys on the flip side over at Heather's.
Cheers, guys.
You guys have been great. Thanks, David. You guys have been great. And I want to give a shout out to David. David, you are a hell of a fucking mod. Just wanted to throw that out there. All right,
Bobby,
I'll see you
to send Dolphin some wiggly tits.
I'd say do it. But so get on over to Heather's and let's have some fun over there. Talk to you guys later.
Yeah.